In this video, I'm going to show you the hand function books I made for my kids when they were younger. I call them hand function books, but you can call them quiet time books or busy books or whatever you want to call them. They are actually super easy to make, and you really don't need to be an expert in sewing to make them. But they do take a lot of time and are definitely a labor of love. I made the first one for my oldest daughter for her first birthday, and I found that I loved the creative process of designing her book. I had seen a similar book and wanted to buy one, but couldn't find one to buy anyway, so I tried to replicate what I had seen. As I progressed, I became more confident and started experimenting with my own ideas. And if you want to make a similar book, you are welcome to use any ideas that you see here. And please let me know how they turn out. The aim of these books is to improve the children's hand function, to teach them how to do functional activities like buttons and zips in a playful way. The first book I had made was similar to the one that I had seen before and didn't really have a specific theme, but had several unrelated pages. But for each book thereafter, I decided to choose a theme for the book that I knew my child would love and based each activity on the theme. For example, we have a farm book, an under the sea book, a party time book, and a Bible stories book. Each page within the book has a different activity for the child to complete. For example, threading, buttons, zips, velcro, tying knots, press studs, hooks and eyes, and clasps. Once I had decided on a theme, I would look in colouring in books, or reading books, or Google some images that would fit with that theme. Usually I'd look for pictures of something that can open and close. For the pages of the book, I think it's best to use any type of sturdy material that you can find around. You are welcome to buy beautiful material for the pages of your books, but I found that old curtains and upholstery material work really well. The first book I made, I cut out the pages individually, but I found that at the end it was really tricky to sew them all together. So for later books, I decided to rather cut double pages, which I folded in half and then could sew all these half pages together. This worked much better. For the pictures themselves, I would trace the picture from the colouring in book or Google image or reading book or whatever I used, and then cut them out on felt pieces. I would sew these felt pieces onto the book just using a normal straight stitch. At the end, I would just put all the pages together, fold over the edges, and sew 2 pages at a time together. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. So now for the real deal. For today's real deal, I want to share with you some of the things to take into consideration when making a hand function book, and some of the things that I would change if I were to do it again. Firstly, toddlers are really strong. They are able to break anything. So make sure that each of the page's parts are really sturdy and not easy to pull off. Secondly, small bits get lost really easily. So I put strings on my little bits, but unless you are an exceptionally tidy person, try to make a plan to not lose all the little bits from the different pages. Thirdly, I specially made these books to keep my kids busy, so that I can get on with other things. But it didn't really work like I thought it would. As soon as they would get to a challenging page, they would want my help. So that's why I don't call them quiet time books or busy books, because my kids never spend time quietly being busy with their books. But they did enjoy doing them with someone that could help them when needed. And lastly, I don't think I'll put the names on the books again on the front page. Although it's really special to have your toddler's name on a book, your toddler grows up, and then what do you do with the book? You can't give it to someone else, and they are unlikely to use it again. And unless your kid is really sentimental, the chances are they won't want to keep it in the cupboard for years and years. So I think in the future I'll put something on the books like "My Book" in the front of the book, and not the child's name. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye!